Hello, my name is Michael Garcia. I'm the chair of the Hispanic vote, and I have the pleasure today of having Judge Mardi Levey Cohen here with me. As some of you may know, and some of you may not know, Hispanic Vote is a nonpartisan political action committee here in the county. And what we do is we interview and endorse local candidates and races. So what we have here today is the judge because she's running for a re-election, and we want you guys to get to know the judge a little bit better. We know who she is. We've endorsed her. So I want to start off with thanking the judge for coming in.
Thank you.
Judge, please tell the public who you are and what seat you're running for, re-running for.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to thank you for having me here today to talk to the voters and tell them a little bit about me, and also for the endorsement by the Hispanic vote, as that is very, very important to me.
So you're welcome, Your Honor.
I appreciate it. Okay. I am a county court judge in Group 26. I'm running for re-election. I was elected 2010 by all of you. Thank you. And I was re-elected unopposed 6 years ago. So I've been serving on the civil county bench since 2011.
Okay. And now, as some of you may know, judges run every 6 years. So now the judge has a re-election. She has an opponent. We did an endorsement. Can you tell the public a little bit about what you do and what the county court is?
Okay, great question. County court judges. Well, there's two sides of it. There's criminal and civil. We don't do probate. We don't do family. So there's a little bit more in circuit that they do. So we're a trial level judge. So we have criminal cases that are under a year of incarceration. So less serious and less violent offenses.
Misdemeanors and that things
exactly.
Like that.
Yeah. But what I do is county civil, which I absolutely love because people call it the people's court. I don't even like that term at all, but it makes some sense because we deal with people who don't have attorneys. There's small claims court. They come in, they're upset about the window treatments that were put in incorrectly. They don't want to hire a lawyer, but they need to file a lawsuit. And small claims court is where you do that. They come in front of me. I can't practice law for them, but I can assist them and help them to resolve the case. And so I love doing small claims because you are very involved with people. I also handle any cases in controversy under under 30,000, and landlord-tenant cases, and a few other types of issues.
So you've been a judge for 12 years. Tell the community a little bit about your education, your legal experience before you became a judge. Obviously, we know you're a judge, but before you became a judge.
Okay. Well, I've lived in Broward County, actually, since 1975, so it's almost 50 years. I went to school here, went to the University of Florida. Undergraduate, I majored in psychology, which I find a fascinating issue, and it really comes to play a lot in the law field.
Yes.
As a lawyer, and then even very much so as a judge. So I then went to law school at the University of Florida. I got my degree to be a lawyer, but I also met my husband there, so that was really awesome.
A double bonus, 2 for 1.
Yeah, it was pretty great. We got married right after law school. We've been married for almost 36 years. I've been a lawyer for 35 years. And I worked, my very first job was at the Attorney General's office. I was doing criminal appeals, and I was 25 years old. I'd never argued in front of a court before, and the first court I appeared in front of was very high level. It was the 4th District Court of Appeals. I was terrified, but I loved it. It was great. It was such a great job, dealing with deep legal issues and research. Most lawyers don't like that. I loved it. Then I argued at the Florida Supreme Court, which most lawyers never do, and they all want to do it. And I was pretty much in tears because I was 25 going, what am I going to do? But it was a great experience. I loved it. I went up there 3 times. I was pregnant one of the times, so that made it even more interesting. And then I opened my own practice for a few years after I left the Attorney General's office, which I loved, helping people in the community. I assisted my husband in his law practice, and then I went to work for the state attorney's office, where I worked for about 5 years. I moved up to supervisor in the county court misdemeanor division. Great job. I was probably tried 45 to 50 cases as a prosecutor, so I have a lot of trial experience. My career really spanned being on both sides, criminal defense. I did civil. I also did the state attorney's office. I was a specially appointed public defender at one point. So pretty rounded
Pretty roundabout.
education on that.
So I have a few questions for you. You said you've been here since 1975.
Yes.
Correct. Where did you go to high school?
Okay. That's another good question. So, well, I moved down here, as I tell people, we like packed the car with both my parents, a dog, a cactus that someone gave us as a gift when we moved down here,
And where from?
New York,
Okay.
and my brother, who's a year older, and my sister, who was like 3 or 4 at the time. And I'll never forget, we had to make sure like our legs didn't hit that cactus plant. So we drove down to Florida, and our house wasn't ready yet, and we lived in a hotel near the airport for a week. And it was just 14 years old. I wasn't that happy. But I ended up, we moved to Plantation. I went to Seminole Middle School, and then South Plantation High School. And
Okay.
the reason I say it's a good question is because they just celebrated their 50th year as a school. And I was on the board, there was 3 of us, on the board of that 50th anniversary event. We held it in January. It was an amazing event. People came from all over. It wasn't 50 years of graduation, it was 50 years of the school. And we raised money for scholarship for the students at the school. So I'm still involved in, I guess, in my high school. 'Cause I'm still on the board of the Alumni Association.
That's interesting. You said you were pregnant when you argued at the DCA. How many children do you have?
Okay. I have 2 children. That was my son I was pregnant with. They both went to law school. My son, who is now 33, about to go on his honeymoon, he got married a few months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And he owns an internet business. He went to law school, but found his place in
The business world?
Business world. He had dyslexia, so he got great. He got through law school great, but had a hard time taking the bar. Could only pass half. So turned it into a positive, and now he's doing great. So and the law school background helped him. So
Yeah.
and then there's my daughter, who is a lawyer. Her and her husband, they do family law. And they also
God
live
bless
in
them.
Broward. I know, that's a tough area. Sorry. And although I did do some circuit coverage in family, and it was tough. That was a tough day. Anyhow, and she just had a baby. So I am
This is your first.
aside from being a judge, I am also a grandmother, and it is an amazing
Congratulations. Is this your first grandchild?
first one.
Okay.
I hope there's many more.
The-
No
she's-
pressure.
She's a boy or girl?
A girl.
So she's gonna be spoiled. She's gonna be spoiled.
Oh yeah, she's definitely grandma spoiled.
So we talked about the educational. You've been married for 37 years,
36.
36 years.
You know, my husband says we're married 36 million years.
But
But our mind is just 36.
Yeah, 36. So tell the public, how big is your docket? How many cases do you
Okay.
have? Because people sometimes have this misnomer that, oh, the judge has it easy, they get to rule,
Yeah.
they get the last say, and they don't understand what goes into being a judge. And I normally tell people they have a bigger docket or more cases than most attorneys. So how big is your
Right.
docket?
Right. So when I was a lawyer practicing, I never thought that I know there's some people that think that the judges, don't have like a full docket and, don't work that much. But I knew they did because I was a prosecutor and I was there every day. And the judge, I would say, oh my God, they're there for every single case. I only have to argue a few, but they have to argue. I mean, they have to listen to every case and be involved. So it is a very intense day. You go home, you're thoroughly exhausted just from your mind working on each case different from the one before. So county civil, right now they raise the limits to 30, in controversy of 30,000. It used to be 15,000. And I think next year they're going to make it 50,000. So we have a tremendous amount of cases. My docket, not my docket, my caseload can run anywhere from, 2,000 to 1,500 cases. And the legislature just mandated that we have to resolve 90% of our cases within 18 months.
Oof.
So the lawyers aren't happy, but that's the way it is. We have to resolve these cases. And I have to tell you, even before that law was in the legislation, was a law, I actually maintained that. And I'm very proud of that. I guess right before the pandemic, the chief judge, the administrative judge, sent out an email thanking me for having the least, I don't know if it was the least amount of cases, but I had the best resolution rate of any of the other civil judges, county judges. And it's close. They're all doing a great job. It's not like I was way ahead, but I allow the parties to argue their cases and have enough time to resolve their cases. But, justice, what is that expression?
Justice delayed is justice denied.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe that. So at least in my division, I'm working, I'm getting those cases resolved. I have a full day of cases. And I don't know if I already mentioned the people, small claims court.
Yeah.
We could have 200 cases on a docket for a small.
Yeah. Normally, when you go to small claims, you have a lot of people in there with a lot of issues, and the judge has to kind of listen to everybody's issue, right? It's just not you just can't tune anyone out. You have to pay attention to everyone's cases.
There's
because
an extreme focus on who's in front of you at that time, which I'm going to add because I probably talk too much, but. One of the other questionnaires while I'm running, they asked about implicit bias. And everybody has implicit bias. Basically, it's maybe you grew up, anyone wearing a T-shirt was a sloppy mess. So then someone comes in front of you in court and they're wearing a T-shirt. So are you thinking, well, this person's a sloppy mess? No. I am very mindful. I look at each case and each person individually. Any biases I may have, I focus on the individual in front of me. And I think it's really important. I know everybody uses mindfulness, but I actually do meditate. At least I try every day. But I take, I want to be mindful of each case and focus on each case that's in front of me that day.
So, before we end, please tell the public your website.
Oh, okay. Everybody, elections August 23rd. You're probably going to get your mail-in ballots
shortly.
July, so get ready for that. And you can see my website where it explains more about what I've done with my career and who I am as a person. I am privileged and honored to be serving every day as your judge, and I don't take it for granted, and I don't I'm just like the rest of you. But I'm doing a job, and I'm trying to do it with integrity and honesty and dignity. I follow the law, I apply it to the facts, and I rule with compassion and fairness. My website is Judge Mardi Levey Cohen, but it's Mardi Levey Cohen, which I guess will be written somewhere for you. But I encourage you to check me out either at Facebook and become my friend, or you can look me up at my website. So thank you so much.
So, Your Honor, just tell them the day of the election.
August 23rd. And election day.
And what group you're in again?
I'm in Group 26, County Court, Group 26.
So we want to thank the judge for taking the time out to speak to us. We wish her all the best. Look, we did our background. We did interviews. unlike other organizations that they just pick and choose, we do interviews, and we endorse the judge for her re-election campaign. And we wish everybody go out and vote on the 23rd. And we want to thank the judge for coming on. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.